Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Show Me the Money webinar. This is Robert Rodriguez. I'm one of your Miami trainers with the Miami Association of Realtors. We are recording this webinar, and we will be uploading the webinar into our Miami Realtors Live page, which you can find inside of your Miami dashboard. Miami Realtors Live is a full library of virtual trainings that we have recorded. We currently have over 160 videos in there for you guys to watch, ranging from the MLS to iMapp, RPR, Agent 3000, and all the other services that are available to you, we have inside of Miami Realtors Live. So make sure that you visit Miami Realtors Live. Also, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Miami Trainers. You can search for us, Miami Trainers, inside of YouTube and subscribe to our channel and watch all of our recorded content in there as well. This is a 1-hour webinar, and it's mostly a prospecting class. We're going to be using iMapp for this. So we're going to be looking for the iMapp logo inside of the Miami dashboard. And once you find iMapp, you want to go ahead and select iMapp, and let's get logged in. iMapp, of course, is a public records program. You guys have access to all 67 counties in Florida. We're going to go ahead and select Miami-Dade County, and then you have tax search. You have the MLS search and foreclosure search. This is not an iMapp class. This is Show Me the Money. We're going to learn how to use iMapp to generate business as far as prospecting for potential listing clients. So if you're looking for an iMapp class, we offer iMapp training. We also offer iMapp webinars. So please look through our calendar at miamirealtors.com and sign up for an iMapp webinar today. All right, so let's go ahead and begin by selecting tax search in Miami-Dade County and some of the basics first. So if you're looking to prospect a neighborhood and you want to look up the subdivision or folio number of a particular neighborhood, you're going to go to property address, and we're going to go ahead and enter an address. Let's enter, say, 1020 Obispo Avenue. As you can see, I use the property a lot, so there it is, 1020 Obispo Avenue, and hit start search. This is a house in Coral Gables that let's pretend that we are either listing a property, or we sold the property, or we simply live there and we want to find out the properties in the subdivision. The way that you do this is either copying the subdivision name, which is right here, or you can copy the folio number, which is the parcel ID, and you're going to stop right before the last 4 digits. So in this case, it would be 03-4107-014. That would equal to the subdivision of this neighborhood, and then also this is also the subdivision right here. So I'm going to go ahead and show it to you how to do it by copying this over here, and we're going to go back to new search. Once you copy the first 3 sets of numbers inside of the parcel ID, you're going to go ahead and paste it here, and then we're going to hit start search. And you're going to notice that you have 183 homes. There's 183 homes inside of the subdivision, which is Coral Gables Section C. And you always have the ability to create mailing labels and download results here if you want to see. All right, so yes, every time that you have results inside of iMapp, you can always create mailing labels and download results. If you want to view the properties on the map, you can click on View Map, and you're going to see those are the properties inside of the subdivision. That's the first 100 properties, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on Next, and it's going to show me the next 100 properties inside of the subdivision. So basically, the subdivision Coral Gables Section C is this block that you see right here. All right, let's go back to the spreadsheet. Now, if you wanted to create mailing labels, all you need to do is select Create Mail Labels. These are some of the basics right now. You're going to go with owner address. If you're trying to reach the owner and where they live, you're going to select owner address. And then you're going to go ahead and remove duplicate results based on unique property addresses. This is important because if an owner of a property owns multiple properties in this subdivision, you want to only generate one mailing label. You don't want to duplicate the mail that goes out to the owner. And then you're going to select the label that you're going to use. In this case, we're going to use Avery 5160. And then at the bottom, you're going to go ahead and generate labels in a PDF format, or you can generate labels in a Word format or in a spreadsheet format. Let's go ahead and use PDF format, and the labels will open up shortly. And here they are. So these are the labels that we're using. Notice that some people live outside. Here you got New Jersey, New York, Virginia. Okay, so let's go back into iMapp, and you can also download the results. So let's click on download results. You have full tax record. You also have the owner address, and you have phone number report, and you have a property address. Now the phone number report is going to give you phone numbers if available, and these are going to be landline numbers. These are not cell phone numbers. So when we click on the phone report and we start the download, you're going to see a spreadsheet open up. And this is going to be a spreadsheet that is going to contain some phone numbers. And notice here the column with the phone numbers. All right, it's not that full. I mean, it's half empty. And it's because not everyone has landlines anymore. So these are landlines. These are not cell phone numbers on iMapp. There are other ways to get cell phone numbers like Remind, which is another program that we have inside of the dashboard. So if you're looking to get phone numbers, use Remind. And those phone numbers are cell phone numbers, the ones on Remind. All right, so we have create mail labels and download results. Now I'm going to go back to the refine this search right here, and I want to now figure out who is owner occupied and who is absentee owner. To do this, you're going to grab one of the fields on the left, one of the search fields on the left that you're not using. So for example, this last year built field right here, we're going to go grab it, and we're going to select owner occupied. All right, here we are, owner occupied. And then we're going to answer, oh, did it take it? No, it didn't take it. There you go, owner occupied, and we're going to answer yes. So by hitting start search, we're going to get only the homeowners that live at the property. So 157 homeowners actually have homestead exemption on their property. If I refine this search and I go back and I hit no, there's going to be homeowners that do not live at the property. So here we have 26 properties who do not have homestead exemption. To all of us, this probably means that these are homeowners who are investors, that these homeowners are renting their properties. All right. A lot of corporations and also a lot of just regular people who own the homes and they're renting out the properties. So when reaching out to these people, you want to go ahead and create a mailing label, and you want to go to the owner address. If you want to reach out to the property and you want to target renters, you can do owner at property address. And notice this warning right here. The warning says that you may get a high rate of return mail. In order to fix this, you want to go ahead and replace the first line with current resident. By putting in current resident, you're guaranteeing that the mail will be delivered because you are removing the name of the owner from the label and only sending it to the property address. So if a renter lives there, they're going to receive the mail and they're going to, read it or toss it, but they're receiving the mail. That's the important part there. Okay, so once again, what I did was I went with owner occupied and I hit no in order to reach the investors or to reach the property where renters may be living, and you want to go ahead and create labels either to the owner address or to the property address. Now you can also add more to this. So for example, owner occupied no, and I'm going to go ahead and open up another search field, and let's try and find out owners who live outside of Florida. So you have owner is Florida resident, and you're going to select no. And these are going to be owners that do not live in Florida, and you have 9. Out of the 26 that you had originally, now 9 of them are actually owners living outside of Florida. So these definitely are investors, and these properties are for sure rent it out to other people because they live outside of Florida. Refine this search. You can even go one step further and you can look for property, or not property. You could go and look for owner is U.S. resident. And these would be people living outside of the U.S. So owner is U.S. resident, no, and then hit start search. And I don't have any matches. All right, so that's not going to work. Okay. Let me go back now to the subdivision. So I'm going to once again copy this here, and I'm going to hit new search. Let me go back to the subdivision and show you that you had originally 186 or 183 results. Now, if you wanted to filter out the active listings, you can always go to the top where it says results not sorted, and you can sort by MLS status ascending. When you sort by MLS status ascending, it's going to give you the green symbols, and these green symbols represent active listings, and any yellow symbols represent pending listings. So out of the 183, we're going to remove all the green symbols and all the yellow symbols. All the other symbols really you don't need to remove, like the blue symbols. Those are sold symbols, and it could be that it sold last year, or it sold a few years ago, or it sold a long time ago. So don't worry about those. And then if you see any expired symbols, those are listings that expired at some point. You can go ahead and leave those there. And then obviously the ones without symbols have no MLS activity within the last 10 years. So you definitely are going to target those as well. So removing the green symbols, now you click on commit changes, which is over here at the top. And that's going to go ahead and shade out the ones you're not going to use. And then you want to go to the upper right corner and look for show all results. And you want to go and say show only selected. By doing so, you're going to notice now that we have 177 results out of 183. This is going to remove all the active and pending listings, so we don't bother these owners who are working with a realtor. Remember that we are recording this, so later on you can watch this inside of Miami Realtors Live. You can pause and you can practice with the recording. Let me go back to refine search. If we wanted to find out the turnover rate in this subdivision, you're going to go to sale date, and it says greater than or equal to, and let's go back to April 9th of 2019. So this is going back 1 year, and out of 183 properties, you had 16 sales in the last year. So you're gonna find out turnover rates in this fashion by putting a year's time in sales date and finding out how many properties sold within the last year. All right, so we have 6 active listings currently in this subdivision, and we have 16 sales out of 183 properties going back 1 year. Remember, we're doing this for this subdivision, and you can do it for any subdivision, any building, any area that you want to draw on a map, so you can really study the subdivisions. And let's go ahead and remove this subdivision right here. And let's say we wanted to do sales within the last year for property type. Let's go property use, and let's go property type single family home, and let's do zip code 33134. All right, so we're doing zip code 33134, and we're going to start search, and you're going to see that there were 513 single family homes that sold within the last year inside zip code 33134. If I go back to refine search, and we don't want to do it by zip code, but we want to do by subdivision, then you're going to open up subdivision select, and what you have over here is subdivision select by letter. So for example, if we're looking for a subdivision in say Doral, we're going to go ahead and select Doral. This is statewide. This is statewide. In order to move over to Tampa or Orlando, you're going to have to open this up and you're going to go to the county that you'd like to study. So Pinellas County, you have Orange County. You're welcome. So yes, you can study any county in Florida. Obviously, right now we're doing it in Miami-Dade County because I live in Miami-Dade County and we're going to use it, for Miami-Dade County. Once again, subdivision select allows you to pick for subdivisions by letter. So once you open up C and D, then you're gonna go and look for the subdivision name. There's a lot of subdivisions here. So it pays actually to know the subdivision name because you're gonna get tired of looking through this. And let me just put in here. All right, hold on. I saw one that I want to do, and let's do Caribbean homes. All right, let's do Caribbean homes, and then when you do Caribbean homes, you go start search, and that's going to be the subdivision Caribbean homes with only 2 homes. Great. But that's 2 homes. When I go ahead and it's not 2 homes, it's 2 homes that sold within the last year. Let's remove that and now go back to start search, and you're going to notice that Caribbean homes actually has 18. So out of 18 homes, there were 2 sales in the last year. Another way that you can look up subdivisions, of course, is if you know the name, and if you know the name, you're going to go ahead and switch this to input. And when you switch this to input, now you're going to go ahead and spell Doral Isles, for example. And here you have Doral Isles Antigua, you have Doral Isles Caribbean, Catalina, Cayman. So when I go ahead and I select, let's say Doral Isles Caribbean, and we hit start search, it's going to get us the results inside of the subdivision Doral Isles Caribbean. And we're frozen. All right. Let's stop this real quick. Let me remove the single family home. Maybe there's condos in Doral Isles Caribbean. All right, so I removed the single family home, and now there's 115. I think these are all single family homes. I can go back and check by hitting refine search, go property type single, and see if I get the 115. Yes, so it was just slow. That's 115 single family homes inside of Doral Isles Caribbean. Notice how all the parcel IDs begin the same, 35, 30, 18, 011. So basically they all begin the same. The only thing different will be the last 4 digits, which equals to the parcel itself. So that's the 2 ways that you can look up subdivisions, either by parcel or by subdivision name. All right, let me go back to new search and let me show you some other features that we can do. Let's put in zip code 33178. So by putting in zip code 33178, we're going to go ahead and do single family homes. Now that zip code is in the city of Doral. And let's say you wanted to do city, you can always open this up over here and you can go and do property city. All right, so by doing property city, now you can put in Doral right here. And no, not Doral Isles, just Doral itself. All right, so you can do Doral, and then you can do by zip code. Okay, I'm gonna remove that. And what I wanted to show you is if you wanted to see who hasn't paid their property taxes, you have a search field called taxes are delinquent. So here we are after owners who haven't paid their property taxes. And then we're going to go ahead and answer yes. So let's see how many people in zip code 33178 for single family homes haven't paid their taxes. Start search, and there are 69 homeowners. 69 homeowners that when you click on one of them, let's click on the parcel ID, you're going to notice an indication right here. It says that this property is reported delinquent in paying property taxes starting in 2017. When you click on County Tax Collector, it's going to lead you to the county's website where it's going to tell you how much is owed on this property. All right. So take a look. You have a total balance of $40,276. They have not paid 2017. They have not paid 2018, and they have not paid 2019. That brings you to a total of $40,000. So I would tend to believe this owner is in trouble. They're going through some kind of financial hardships. And as realtors, this is a perfect candidate for us to contact and see how we can. Yes, it is great information for investors. As realtors, this is a great way to contact the owner and either offer to purchase their home, or purchase or list their home for sale, or of course investors who are into buying tax liens. You may see this property come up for auction in the tax liens soon. That's 3 years of tax debts. So when I go back here, all 69 of these properties currently owe money. Not everyone owes $40,000. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and click on this one, and you're going to see that this person owes starting in 2018, and we're going to see how much they owe. All right. They actually paid off their bill. They paid it off, so that one needs to be updated. And iMapp updates every month, and I'm not sure if the current times that we're in with the whole COVID-19 and coronavirus quarantine, if they haven't updated it, but they apparently paid their bill on February 25th. All right, so yeah, you want to check. Some of these are going to be needing some updating. Let's go back to new search. And another thing that you guys want to do is you want to, investors looking for properties in opportunity zones, you want to open up an opportunity zone field. So let's look for O, and let's look for opportunity zone right here. And the opportunity zones are incentive programs from the government to buy investment properties. And if you own the property for at least 10 years, you're able to pay very little capital gain tax. You're able to defer your capital gain taxes. So it's great for investors. And all you need to do is go ahead and say in an opportunity zone, any type. And let's put in zip code 33135, for example. And then let's hit start search. And let's see what we have. We got 1,556 properties in an opportunity zone. When you click on one of these, you're going to notice that each property located in an opportunity zone will have a yellow indication like this. It says this is a low income community, and buying this property, if it were listed, but buying this property would be beneficial to investors because you're going to defer some of your property taxes, or not property taxes, but your capital gain taxes. All right, so that's how you search for properties in opportunity zones. Now the question on property types is always good. Property types right here, property use. You can always open this up and you have single family homes, you have mobile homes, you got multifamily 10 units or more, condos, you got multifamily 1 to 10 units. So for example, if I'm a commercial investor or a commercial realtor and I wanted to know how many 10 unit or more buildings are there in zip code 33135, that is a zip code in Little Havana. We're going to go ahead and hit start search. And there are 201 properties that are 10 or more units inside zip code 33135. So you want to create an Excel sheet by downloading the results of all the owners, and you want to see and communicate and see maybe one of the owners is ready to sell their property and you want to be their listing agent. So, or maybe you want to purchase, you want to offer a cash transaction to one of these owners. We're going to go back to refine search. And instead of using the multifamily, let's go ahead and say we specialize in, um, let's look for service stations. These are gas stations, and we're gonna go ahead and hit start search. And in zip code 33135, there are 15 gas stations inside that zip code. When you look at the ones that have a green symbol, that is listed for $750,000. If you look at this one is listed for $2.7 million. So when we open this up, you're gonna see that this is a like a service station, and that's listed for $2.7 million. Okay, it's more of a like a garage than anything. I don't see any gas in there, but that's considered a service station. All right, let's click on new search once again. Property types allow you to look up any kind of property type. We do have a commercial iMapp and MLS class that we go over some of the commercial ways to use iMapp. And we have webinars also, and we have virtual trainings that are recorded. So look up the commercial MLS and iMapp inside of our YouTube or Miami Realtors Live. The next thing you can do is you can search by zoning. So if you know the zoning codes that you're looking for, you can always switch one of the search fields to zoning. Apparently there's like a little delay. So here you go. And now this opens up all kinds of zoning. You can do duplex, you can do, fourplexes, you can do multifamily 6 to 8 units, you can do multifamily 10 to 12 units. So you can really look up properties by zones inside of Miami-Dade County or any other county in Florida. To look up a building is very simple. Let's go ahead and look up a building like this one right here, 50 Biscayne Boulevard. All right, so by putting in 50 Biscayne and I hit start search, this is a building with 541 units. Now, again, I'm going to sort by MLS status ascending, and what you're going to see is that you have green symbols, and let me see where it stops. So the green symbols stop at 62, and you have a few pending listings. So all of 65 listings are on the market, and the others are not on the market. So you got 541 results with 65 listings on the market. If I go back and I refine this search, and let's say I'm looking for people that bought in this building in, say, 2011. So let me go and let me put in for a sale date 01/01/2011, and then we're going to go ahead and sale price. Let's switch this to sale date. So we're creating two identical fields for sale date, and then the center we're going to do less than or equal to, and then we're going to go ahead and put in 01/01/2012. So we're forming a range from January 1st through January 1st in a 1 year's time. And I want to know how many sales. There were 34 sales that year. These are people that bought, for example, a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom for $314,000. We can always open this up and we can see what the value is. So they purchased it for $314,000. Let's see what the comp value is. So to run comparables in iMapp, you're going to look for the find comparables on the upper right corner. And then you're going to do same subdivision, hit update criteria. And there are 6 comparables. You're looking at a 2-bedroom condo in this building that has a low end value of $410,000 with a high end value of $513,000 and an average of $470,000. They bought their condo in 2011 for $314,000. So this may be an owner who is ready to sell because, they have equity. And their property is a condo that may be going down in value. We don't know that. It's pure speculation, but the condo market in Brickell or downtown is, um, it's struggling right now. It's a huge buyer's market. So maybe you want to talk to the owners and see if they're ready to sell. And that's the way that you can study any building and figure out who has equity. Now, the same thing can be said if you go back maybe to the year 2004, 2005, when people were buying properties at very high prices. And if they still own the properties today, those are people that experienced the market crash and their properties have now rebounded to the point where they're breaking even or maybe ready to make a little money. And we can do that as well. Okay. And that's by using this right here. You're going to go ahead and do a date range, and you're going to do less than or equal to, and then you're doing January 1st of that particular year, and then January 1st of that particular year. And you can do it for any zip code, or you can do it for any subdivision or any building. Okay. Now let's move on to MLS search. MLS search, of course, is going to tap into the MLS, so you no longer have the counties, you just have all MLS listings. And what we're going to be looking for here are expired listings. Every single realtor should be working the expireds. This is how you get a listing. We're going to go with listing status, and we're going to select expired, not relisted. There's a difference between expired and expired, not relisted. Expired not relisted will only give you the results of those expired listings that were not put back on the market. So if I go ahead and I click on expired not relisted and I do property type single family, and then I do city, let's go with the city of Hialeah. All right, let's look for whatever. Let's go to Hollywood. Let's do a little bit of Broward. All right, so let's go to Hollywood. So we've got the city of Hollywood, expired not relisted, single family home, and now let's go ahead and select a search field that is expired date. If you do not put an expired date, you're not going to be able to focus on the most recent expired listings. So let's put in expired date, and then let's go back, say to January 1st. So we're going to go and do January 1st of 2020. So it says greater than or equal to January 1st of 2020, and we're going to hit start search. When we hit start search, you will notice that in Hollywood, there were 46 expired listings since January 1st, and they were not placed back on the market. So when I click on one of these, all right, this is a property that was listed for $245,000 and it expired February 28th of 2020. When I click on find comparables, we're going to see if the property actually has good value, and it does. Their value is $312,000 on average, with a low of $243 and a high of $381. And when I go back over here to property tax, okay, you'll notice that the owner has been there since 2011, and the MLS listing info. You'll notice it's not an REO and not a short sale. So what's the reason it expired? You need to find out. So you need to communicate with the owner. You need to communicate with the owners by clicking on property tax. What is an REO? An REO is a foreclosed property. It's a property that has already been foreclosed and it is owned by a bank. So whenever you hear the term REO, those are bank-owned properties. You're welcome. All right, so in this case, this is an investor. As you can see, sharing investments. And I know it's an investor because I looked here and it says in 2011, Fannie Mae, Federal National Mortgage Association, that's a HUD home. And this is a foreclosure. And you have sharing investments who purchased the property for $80,000. And now they can go ahead and, they're trying to sell the property for $245,000, and for whatever reason it expired. So we need to communicate with some of these owners and try and get a listing. So I just did Hollywood, and I got 46 expired, not relisted listings. Now let's take a look at the difference. How many of them actually really expired and went back on the market? So remember the number 46. I'm simply going to go back to refine search and then hit expired. When I hit expired, well, I have a really a large delay, so I gotta wait for this. All right, there you go, expired, and I hit start search. So the reality is that there were 84 listings expired since January 1st, and about half of them went back on the market, because when I do expired not relisted, it left me with 46. So that's how important it is to use expired not relisted, because it is going to only leave you with the properties that you can target. So make sure that we're doing expired not relisted. All right. So that's pretty much all you do for MLS search. All MLS activity, you should be doing it inside of Matrix. But the one important field inside of iMapp that you want to use for prospecting will be the expired searches, for two reasons: expired, not relisted, and the fact that you can quickly get owner information inside of iMapp. And then when you're on the MLS, you really can't get owner information. All right, so let's move on to foreclosure search. And foreclosure search, this is huge for realtors to try and get a listing, because there are many people in foreclosure that don't know what to do, and we are here to help. So let's understand the foreclosure search, and let's stick to Miami-Dade County, and we're gonna go ahead and put in zip code 331. Say 78, once again, Doral, and we're going to do, well, right now, let's just do single family homes, and then let's hit start search. You're going to see that you have 74 foreclosures. These are foreclosure liens. Right now, the plaintiff is JP Morgan Chase, and the defendants are the owners of the property. Okay, so everyone here still owns their own property. Look at the defendants. These are the owners, and they're being sued by the bank that they owe money to. Sometimes the plaintiff is not a bank. Sometimes the plaintiff is the HOA. So you want to make sure that when you're looking at this and you want to approach the owner, that you know the situation that they're in. Are they in a hole with the bank, or do they owe money to the HOA? Okay, so it's very important that you know this. And you're going to, download the spreadsheet, and you're going to communicate with each owner, maybe knock on their door, and offer help. Some of these owners are embarrassed of their situation, and they just don't know what to do. Some of these have been. How do you know it's an HOA lien? The plaintiff. We're gonna see one. I went to Doral for a reason, but I haven't found one. Yes, you're welcome. Let me see. I'll try and find one for you. I'll find a lot of them in condos, but apparently in this Doral, I haven't really found one. But for plaintiff, instead of JP Morgan Chase, it'll say, Doral Isles HOA, and you know that that's an HOA. Well, here you go. Look, right there. All right. So right here you have it. Baritz Homeowners Association, and that is the HOA lien. When you go in and you click on the case number, you're going to notice case number, and you have the plaintiff, and then you have the defendant. Okay. Now, the foreclosure search gives you a large history of foreclosure liens. If you want the most recent foreclosure liens, let's do zip code 33155. And I'm going to do filing date, and let's go back 1 year. So let's go back 1 year, 04, 09, 2019, and then let's say it starts search, and then we have 67 foreclosures filed. If you look here, filing date, April 15, 2019, April 15, 2019. This is important because let's say you go into foreclosure and you haven't paid your mortgage in 3 years, and your mortgage is $2,000 a month. So that's $2,000 a month times 12. That's $24,000, and then multiply that over 3 years. You're looking at more than $60,000 in debt. If you're more than $60,000 in debt, and that's not counting legal fees and attorney fees, you're pretty much upside down, and your only option is to do a short sale at that point. So let's try and grab owners that haven't been in foreclosure for more than 1 year. These are homeowners that may be able to sell their property and still profit and still take out some money. But once you fall too far in debt, where when you're just too far in debt underwater, there's pretty much no options. It's just short sale, or obviously you can refinance or modify your loan. But if you haven't made a payment in 3 years, I don't know what bank's going to loan you the money. So our options are to go over the foreclosures filed within the last year. Another way that you guys can look at this is going to be judgment date. So for example, I want to look for single family homes that currently have a judgment sale date. So we're going to go ahead and put in today's date. Now I know that foreclosures have frozen for the next 45 days, but we're still going to go ahead and search, and we're going to go ahead and put in today's date going forward. And yes, so the question was, is it good to target sellers that have been in foreclosure for less than 1 year? In my opinion, this is my opinion only, those are sellers who are more likely to want to sell their property because they can still cash out. They can still probably cash out and move on. If you're facing now a short sale situation or a foreclosure situation, there's no profiting. They're basically going to walk away from the property in a short sale, and then obviously in a foreclosure situation, they're going to lose really bad because they're going to lose their credit as well. So these people here, these 209 people that are facing a judgment, these are auction dates. So by going to judgment sale date and putting in today's date, these are homeowners who are facing an auction date. This is like crunch time. To me, this is the very last resort for the owner. They have an auction date, and they have a date with the court. And when you look at the case number, you'll notice that they've been in foreclosure since 2011, and this owner owes the bank $1,194,000. And if you look at the market value in the county, it's only $710,000. So that's clear that is someone who's extremely underwater, and they face foreclosure. So what you want to do is you want to approach this person and see if you can get a short sale listing agreement. Now I know that the property is on the market. Let me go back one step and show you. The property is on the market, so it's most likely a short sale, and it is. You see over here, it's a short sale, and it's listed at $699,900. So what you need to do is go over this list and see who's facing an auction. Maybe not tomorrow. Give yourself at least 15 days. but who's facing an auction coming up, and talk to the owner who's not on the market. Make sure it's not green. Talk to the owner who's not on the market and say, you really are facing losing your home, so why not try list your property with me as a short sale, and walk away from this. Short sales are agreements that you are going to do with the bank to settle, usually for less than what you owe. If the bank approves the short sale, you are basically going to walk away from the property without owing any other money, and that's important. It's not going to damage your credit as much as a foreclosure. So this is something that you definitely want to approach all homeowners with, short sale opportunities. And then of course, all right, we do all kinds of trainings, folks. We do all kinds of foreclosure trainings, short sale trainings. Just look at our education calendar. I myself do only two styles of classes that cover foreclosures. One is called Working with Investors, and then this one, the Show Me the Money. I'll go over some of the foreclosure, but I'm not a specialist in foreclosure. So you want to look at our calendar at MiamiRealtors.com and look, or contact us and speak to our education department, and maybe they can fill you in on when we have like attorney speakers come in and talk about foreclosures. All right. So let me go back to new search. And anyone in a judgment, facing a judgment on their property in auction, you can also offer to buy their property instead of just selling the property. Maybe you're an investor and you're looking to purchase properties cash. You can offer to purchase their property in cash. So it's a great way to search. Remember, filing date is the original file date, and judgment sale date, that would be the date of the auction. Normally, it takes a property about 2 to 3 years to be in foreclosure before they get an auction date assigned to them. So definitely something that you can look at. If you wanted to look at HOA liens, then you're going to go ahead and open this search field, and let's go ahead and look for plaintiff. And let's wait because there is a delay. All right, plaintiff. And then we're going to go with contains. And we're going to put in, say, association. All right. And now I know that we're going to get some like, bank that has the word association in it. But let's put in association. And then let's put in zip code 33131. This is in Brickell. And then we're going to go ahead and hit search. And you're going to see One Miami West Condominium Association, Brickell House Condominium Association. These are all, for the most part, association liens. All right, so you want to go ahead and learn how to use the plaintiff search fields in order to get, association. Or if you have close relations with, let's say, Wells Fargo, you're going to go ahead and does it show auction bidding info? All right, so the auction bidding or the info, you're going to have to go to the auction website. The auction website is this right here. miamidade.realforeclose.com. miamidade.realforeclose.com. You're going to look through the calendar, and you're going to see which properties are up for auction. You have the regular auctions, and then you also have the tax deed auctions. All right. So iMapp gives you a heads up on the properties. This is actually where the auctions happen, which is the Miami-Dade. Or if you want to go to Broward, you open up on the left, jump to, and go to Broward foreclosures. And that's going to proceed over to the Broward Clerk of Court. Okay. So I was saying that if you work closely with Wells Fargo, you can always do this, Wells Fargo. And we're going to look at properties that have a foreclosure lien in zip code 33131 with Wells Fargo. Start search, and it's 6 properties. Wells Fargo's Bank, Wells Fargo Bank, Wells Fargo Bank. So those are all the Wells Fargo liens that you have. If I go back to refine search and I just want to know in general, not zip code 33131, but in general, how many properties have a lien with Wells Fargo. You're going to use the plaintiff, answer Wells Fargo, start search, and we have 920 properties in Miami-Dade County that have a foreclosure lien with Wells Fargo. All right, and the reason why I'm teaching you this is because if you know how to communicate with Wells Fargo and get a short sale price approved, then go after these listings. If you've never dealt with, let's say, JP Morgan Chase or any other bank, then but you have dealt with Wells Fargo before and you have good experience with them, then look for properties that are in foreclosure with Wells Fargo. Okay, so let me go ahead and click on new search, and we're going to open this up for some questions. But before we open up for questions, I want to conclude by saying this is the prospecting course called Show Me the Money. There's a whole lot more to prospecting, whether you're using Realist or you're using RPR or you're using Remind. I invite you to take a look at Remind. Remind is an amazing prospecting tool. When you find yourself with some time at home or in the office, you should be prospecting. You should be building toward the future. This was just a little preview on how to get something done with iMapp. I want to thank everyone for attending today's course. And of course, as always, we thank you for being Miami members.